Yes, guys. How you doing? Welcome back to the Think. I think it's time for some football transfer gossip. Football Inc. is here. I'm here with Johnny. How's everyone doing? What is crack-lacking? It's Friday. It's January the 30th. We got 3 days. 3 days to see what's coming on. It's not been a very busy transfer window, but we're here to talk about it. You know what to do, guys. Smash, smata-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, tash the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed and comments should be dropped thick and fast. We are available on all of your podcast platforms. So if that's your jam, then please take a look, give us a follow and a rating. The links are in the description below. We are also sponsored by OK Jersey. Big up to them. Thank you very much for their wonderful offer. You can get 15% off. You can get 8% off at all times, but until Sunday, you can get 15% off by using code FINC15. I feel like by the time I get around to changing that overlay, it's going to be out of date anyway. So just think 15 will get you 15% off. You can't ask better than that. Get yourself some Jeremy Jacquet's, some awesome clobber, training gear, all sorts of stuff. Your unbranded stuff as well is available. Look for OK Jersey and go where you need to go. Guys, big up to you. Big up to Johnny. How are you, my man? Good to see you. You got your old football transfers background back. Like to see it.
Yeah. How am I? Not good, mate.
No.
Johnny's clearly been playing with my jingles.
I've been playing with his jingles.
You leave my jingles alone.
That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. Been playing with his jingles. Listen, look. No, I'm not happy, Sean. I'm not happy, mate. I'm not happy. You know, Fulham, West Ham, Crystal Palace, spending money. Villa, right?
City.
Villa, FFP deadline, walking the tightrope, probably gone over it. And
even Bournemouth sell a player a forward and replace him with a forward. We sell a forward and we bring in a midfielder.
Yeah, we still haven't replaced Sonny. We haven't placed Johnson. We've got a massive injury crisis. We've got 2 players that be lucky if they come back this season. What is going on? And we
should get that meme, Johnny. We should get that meme of the guy who's turned his car around so he looks like he's going forwards, but he's actually going in reverse. You know, the guy who's like he's got the back.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
we got no forwards. We got no forwards. We're still trying to move in that direction.
Yeah, you've seen that car. I posted it years ago. Yeah, brilliant. Listen, look, it's as a Spurs fan, it's an absolute shit show. I've got to be honest with you. Very, very disappointing. When the board come out in when Daniel goes to say we have ambition, we have this, we have that, and here we are, the January transfer window. It's been disappointment. And then before the West Ham demonstration, they come out and they say, we have ambition. We know what's wrong. We are here to eradicate it and make things better. They haven't done anything. They've done nothing of the sort. Listen,
I just spent an hour and a half talking about that whole protest thing again on Spurs Talk Show. We tuned into that last night, or Stella and I did. Do you think that there's going to be bigger numbers?
No. Well, there will be. There will be 60,000 people. They'll be able to claim that there's 60,000 people at the protest
it's inside the stadium, isn't it? Yeah.
Inside the stadium. Listen, look, I'm not happy with the situation, Sean. You know, I'm not. I think it's just, it's just semantics, really. It's like how many people are turning up. I mean, if you ask most Spurs fans, are you happy right now? The answer would categorically be no. You know, how can you be happy with, look, are we happy that we finished 4th in the Champions League? 100%. But if you look at the bigger picture, this has been 5 years of decline, 3 years since Conte left. It's getting worse and worse and worse. We've never replaced Kane. We've never replaced Son. And we're continuing to go backwards. And
right, the dissatisfaction with the current state it's not the same equivalence of people saying, oh, everyone's unhappy, but not everyone wants the owners gone, right?
Yeah,
it's not the same thing, is it? You can be you can be pissed off, but you don't necessarily want to throw the baby out with the bathwater or whatever.
I think what will happen. I think the thing is, people get confused between YouTube and X and social media outrage, and the guy who loves Spurs, he works all week, he goes down to the ground, he watches the game, he comes home, says to his mates, if you go out, we were crap yesterday. And that's the long and the short of it. He's got he's not invested in this sort of 24/7 Spurs rhetoric, or whatever club you support. Man United, you see, here's another thing. Manchester United were organising a huge 6,000 plus demonstration against Fulham for the Fulham game. They've just won 2 games. They've just beat Manchester City and Arsenal. Now, has that quelled the appetite against the owners?
Of course.
Quite possibly. But the
argument that people that want to stick to the plan, Batman, regardless, is okay. So the owners have done a good job in replacing the guy that they were responsible for employing in the first place. Like, all roads always, in every situation, lead back to the ownership, which is, for me, just like, it's a futile argument, because on that basis, like, everything, whatever happens on that basis, everything always leads back to the, if you're saying Tottenham finishing 17th is the owner's fault, then Tottenham winning the Europa League is the owner's fault, right? Tottenham finishing 4th in the Champions League is the owner's fault. Everything. If you're doing an argument, it has to work both ways, but it never does. It never does.
Well, listen, look, today's news, a lot of people hanging on the notion that because Crystal Palace were buying Strand, Larson and Gazand on loan, that we were going to be in for Mateta, right? And now the news that Mateta, as stated by Mateta himself, I want to play in Italy. The first Italian deal has fallen through, but now looks like AC Milan is the one,
which is where he wanted to go anyway, wasn't it?
Correct. So,
but Forest are in the mud. Forest have put their eggs in that basket, and now they're going to have to pigvot, And
they have to pivot. But look, the thing is, they've got plenty of alternatives. Igor Jesus again, 2 more goals last night. He's a proper striker. But they've got options, I believe. I think their squad is better than the manager and their position in the league. Personally, I think they've got a really good squad and a good bunch of players. But look, the thing is, now been linked with all these players. No one's come. The latest worry is that Spurs will end up with Raheem Sterling. Played 24 games for Arsenal. I think he scored 1 goal, was it? I can't remember. 1 or 2 goals, something like that. Yeah, and that was what, 4 years ago, was it? I can't remember. I've probably got the stats if I look at it.
Amazing. He's only 31 though, right? It's amazing.
Well, he's been going
since Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, he was
31 years old. He's had a fucking decent career.
Yeah, he's a proper pro. He's had an incredible year. You can't a credible career. You certainly can't knock it. I mean, Arsenal, 28 games, 1 goal, 5 assists. Madness.
Would you how would you feel if we signed him? Even on like a 6-month deal? Or an 18-month contract or something, and he was getting paid 100 grand a week.
Listen,
not 300. He just gave up 300 grand a week to get out of that deal.
Right. For me personally, it's not about the money. He's earned more money. He's been the face of Gillette. Look, he's money is not the issue. You get to stage 31, you want to play football. He's earned his money. I would take him till the summer, Sean. That's it. I've got no interest past the summer. None. He can cross a ball. Yeah. That's what I know. So he can assist.
Listen, he used to be a fantastic player, right? But he used to be one of the best wingers in the game, right?
Has he got a point to prove? Has he got a point to prove to the Chelsea owners?
It's the big gamble, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be as catastrophic as people are making out. I was asked earlier about it, and I was like, I just can't see it happening. Like, I can't believe it. But obviously, it is out there in all of the papers this morning. It's in the Telegraphs and the Times. People saying one of the articles is written saying Sterling accepts a monumental sacrifice to seal an immediate Tottenham move. Like, I mean, the way that that's spun is that he's motivated to come to Spurs. And if you were to get a motivated version of him, like he's obviously, like Sonny, right? When Sonny hit 31, he fell off a cliff, in terms of value. But Sonny was still better than what we have. People now like talking about, sort of remembering Sonny in a different way to prove a point. Like everybody wanted Sonny gone last year. Everybody said like his time is done. Like very few people were like, we're saying keep him around, right? But now that he's gone, we didn't replace him. Everyone's saying we'll bring back Sonny, all that, or we
for the 6 months. Yeah, I think Sterling just wants to get the full set of cards. Sean, he wants the Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs set, right? Yeah, he wants the London set. How many players have done that before? We have the defender, didn't we? What was his name?
William Gallas.
William Gallas. Trying to think some of the others who have done the full set.
Very few people have played for all three of those clubs. Very, very few. But yeah, listen, I don't think it's as horrendous as some people are making out. If you can get a motivated version of him, I think you could get some output. And I don't think he'll play every minute. I don't think he'll be like necessarily even, a guaranteed starter. But I honestly feel like, I don't really understand it. Like if you're letting Ademola Lookman go to Fenerbahce for 40 million and you think that there's better value in Raheem Sterling, that to me is a little bit problematic. I don't see the value. But if it does happen, it's a weird one. But I'm not going to sit there and say it's a catastrophe.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, Sean. I'll tell you what it is. For me, we have got Johan Lang, who sat there for months on end preparing. And this is what he's going to dish up, an opportunist signing, right?
I hear you on that.
We'll throw you some beans. Yeah. They're at the gates. They're at the gates, protesting at the gates. Throw them some corn. The one that sort of died off a bit is the one. What do you think of Diaby? The Diaby possibility.
See, I really liked him when he was at Villa. He was only at Villa for a short time. I remember him fondly. Like I remember him being a very handy, tricky player. But I've seen a lot of people on Twitter going, he's fucking trash. And I sometimes sit there and kind of go, have I missed? Am I on a different? Because the same thing happened with the Mateta links. I put that thing out saying I think Mateta is far better than Richarlison, and a lot of the people that commented are like, "Are you mental? He's no better. He's not. He's far worse than Richarlison." I was like, "Really?" I mean, I feel like sometimes I sit there with this fan base. I sit there and go, like, maybe it's me that's mad. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Look, he's come through from PSG, the PSG academy, right? He's gone right the way through. He played, I don't know how many games, not a lot of games, 30 odd games. Gone to Bayer Leverkusen, where he's scored like 40 odd goals. I think what have I got here? 49 goals for Bayer Leverkusen, 47 assists in 170 games. He's gone to Villa.
Unbelievable return that is.
Yeah,
for a winner.
Yeah. He's gone to Villa for big money, and he's in 54 games. He's got 10 goals and 11 assists. For Al Ittihad, which he hasn't been great out there, but he's an assister. 27 assists, 8 goals in 53 games. So every other game he's getting an assist. So he's important. But the interesting thing is here, he's still only, what is he, 26? Is he? I can't remember how old he is.
Yeah, he's only 300 grand a week, right? And it's obviously the unknown is there's been no one that's come straight back from Saudi into the Premier League. Right,
correct.
No one. Only Henderson.
No Neves. No, yeah.
Well, Neves is about to sign a new contract apparently, but Jordan Henderson is the only one that's made it back to the Premier League after being in Saudi, and that was via Ajax. Right?
Yeah, what happened there? He was shocking at Ajax.
Well, they liked him for 5 minutes, and then suddenly they hated him, didn't they?
Yeah,
they loved him, and they absolutely hated him. It's very weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll be honest. Like, for me, my gut instinct says yes. Like, I'd like Diaby. I think he'd be really good, but we didn't see that much of him in the Premier League. Obviously, he wasn't around for too long. And again, though, does it it begs the question: is he someone that's never going to settle? You know, much like this John Duran. You know, just moves around, can't find a home, goes somewhere for 5 minutes. You know, chasing the money, chasing new opportunities, goes somewhere, doesn't want to settle in. Those sorts of things, are they good demonstrations of a character that you should really be looking for? But again, right now, mate, it just feels like, you know, Tottenham don't have a plan. We're sort of scratching.
Why isn't there a what? Sorry to talk over you. Sorry, mate. What is the plan? Why is there not a plan, Sean? Months in the making, all the talk. We come to the window. Gallagher was opportunist. Yeah, that was true. Yeah, where was the plan of succession for Brennan Johnson? Right, where was the plan of succession for all the injuries that we knew that were going to take ages to come back? Where is the thought process? I don't get it. Raheem Sterling would be an opportunist, right? Maybe Diaby the same. I mean, the only thing that can save this window is a monster signing, like a Rodrigo goes or something like that, you know, out of the blue. You know, a monster signing where Spurs have put all their eggs into a basket.
It's still just how do I say this? The fact that we have left it late, the fact that you know, Sousa obviously is a proactive one that we've scouted and found, right? That's obviously Johan Lang doing Johan Lang type stuff. Conor Gallagher, I think you could put down to an opportunity, but you can also certainly make the argument that he's a player that Tottenham have wanted forever. I also think, for what it's worth, having looked at the way that we seem to be playing with this back three model now, it feels like there's a reason why we don't have a passing midfielder, and it's because Thomas Frank wants the midfield to be resolute, but he wants the attack creation to come through the width. And so I don't know how long that will last, but for now, that at least kind of answers a bit of a question for me around why it is that we haven't gone after an Alex Garcia, like a Neves, whatever else, right? That gap seems like there's a little bit of a logic there to the answer. I don't really like it, but at least, you know, then you can make sense of it. And at the end of the day, mate,
how you break in the lines? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, just quickly. So the reality is that we think that there's no plan because there's no transfer links, and I think that Tottenham fans are guilty of aligning too much credibility to bullshit, and then thinking, "Oh, there's no links. There used to be 25 links a day. I love those days under Paratici. There used to be 25 links. Now there's none. It's just the same old names being regurgitated. Nothing happens. Therefore, the club aren't doing anything." That's not necessarily true. And we spoke about this before, right? The stories don't come from anywhere. Even Ornstein gets them wrong because of, like, it's nothing. Ornstein says something, then it's done, or then it's almost done, and then something happens, like with Gibbs White or Eze or whatever else. So the lack of noise doesn't necessitate that there's lack of planning or lack of work. And even I would even go and this is not a defense. Yeah. Last thing I say, this is not a defense of the window at all. But the only other thing that I think is a variable that we need to consider is that, for the most part, most of the business in January doesn't get done until the last few days. So if Tottenham do come through this in the next couple of days with one or two signings that are, you know, that are decent level, then I don't think that you can necessarily just say this was scratching around last minute, because we don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
Look, we know that Paratici is loud and proud, spinning numerous plates, getting everyone at it. And we know that Johan Lang is behind the scenes and very hush-hush, right? He's been like that since he's been here. But it does not excuse the fact, Sean, that Thomas Frank has asked for the signings to be signed as quickly as possible, as early as possible, so he could integrate them into the squad, right? Sure. You've had months of planning, right? Where are your targets? Ambition and planning, put them together, means you're signing players in the first week of the transfer window, making a statement that you are here to do business and change this club around. But we've seen the complete opposite of that. And
it doesn't always mean, though, that you have to have three things to happen for a transfer to happen, right? The buying club wants to buy, the selling club wants to sell, and the player wants to
I know all that. But what you do is you do a lot of feeling around. That's what the planning's all about, yeah? You know, the feeling around.
So I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just throwing out the other cut. I think everyone is just assuming that this is just more demonstrations of shit show Tottenham, and it probably is. It probably is, and it will probably prove to be. So I'm not sort of trying to make a defense that's indefensible. I'm just saying that if it turns out by the 31st of January that we do have a couple of players in and they are decent level and they are good value, and we're like, oh wow, that's important, and we can make logic and sense of the signings and all that stuff, then it doesn't mean that those things are scratchy last minute deals. It might mean that there's a combination of factors here. One, we don't get to see the workings of Johan Lang because he keeps it all cloak and dagger. Two, most of the transfers in January happen late anyway. And three, January is a very difficult window where doing early business, there's a lot of Mexican standoffs. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just saying that might be the case. We'll know in 72 hours.
Look, I mean, I just think that a deal is likely to be done probably after the final games of the weekend. We'll do our predictions after, but I just, for me, this is not how you've made two massive statements. The club have made two massive statements that they have intent and they're going to things and things are changing. And this is the new Spurs. This is the new Enoch. All I'm saying is, I don't see it. Look, I don't want stocking fillers, Sean. Do you want stocking fillers or do you want a proper present?
I want both.
Yeah, well, we could start.
I want more. No, listen, I know. Johnny, all I'm saying is, like, if we rock up on Tuesday morning with a couple of bombers over on Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah.
If Henderson comes in, for example, Robertson comes in. If Robertson gets done, if Tottenham sign Diaby, right? Yeah. Now it should be something that should be celebrated personally. Like I say, there's a lot of people though that seem to think I like him as well. Yeah. And if we were to sign, I don't know, Lookman last minute, or if we were to bring in a Goretzka or whatever, like if two players come in that are like big names, and you can go, oh, okay, that makes sense, like that, yep, cool. Then it doesn't necessitate that because I know that some people that feel a certain way about the football club will go, yeah, but it should have been done on the first. And whilst that might be true, that doesn't mean
it is true. Not the first, but it could have been done in the first.
Earlier.
Man City did Semenyo within more or less the first week, right? Gahey took a little bit longer. And that's
Semenyo was Semenyo was a triggering of a clause. So that's sort of different.
Yeah. But still they made they made themselves known. Look, if we do the two bombers, fine. I just don't want more stocking fillers, Sean. I don't want to see Raheem Sterling and Robertson as our two signings in the window. That's not what I want to see.
Yeah, that's fine. Right. I agree with you, but like I say, I'm not trying to make a case for why the window hasn't been a shit show. It has clearly thus far. If it stays like this, horrendous window. But if it changes, then I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm gonna wait until Monday before I fall.
Yeah, Robertson and Diaby. I think Sean and I are in agreement. Look. When I say I like him, I'll rephrase that. I liked him at Villa, right? That's what I will say. I liked him at Villa. But listen, Goretzka apparently isn't going to leave till the summer, so I think we can rule that one out. Robertson is looking more and more unlikely due to the fact that Tsimikas, Roma don't particularly want to let Tsimikas go because they can't find a replacement. I don't know if the Hugo Bueno story is still active, and the Senesi one from Bournemouth, who I like, by the way, good player.
Senesi,
yeah, 28, 29 years of age, but still good player.
Apparently, in other news, Real Madrid want to sign Diogo Dalot from Manchester United because of their defensive weaknesses. I can't believe that's true at all. That's coming from Fijacious. No chance Dalot goes to Real Madrid. What are we doing here? Fulham, though, have signed a really interesting player, Johnny. Oscar Bob. I mean, that one to me is one that slipped under the radar. If you're looking at Sterling and you could have got Bob, what are we doing here?
Well, listen, I don't get it, mate. It's 27 million. I don't know if there's an add-on to that. listen, Pep spoke very fondly about Oscar Bob before the injury, saying that this kid's got big future, da-di-da-di-da. And he got the injury. Stop, start. We've seen what Fulham have done with players who have been injured or have, got to a stage where, people are finished with them. But listen, Fulham, I think they're trying to sign Pepe as well, isn't it, from PSV?
Yep.
So it's another one they're trying to do. But listen, I don't think this is a bad signing as well, to be honest with you.
I think it's a very good signing. I genuinely, I think that, like I say, for me, Oscar Bob, I wonder whether or not Tottenham's bridge with City is burnt. I'm surprised that Tottenham didn't go for it. Maybe Tottenham went asked and City said, no, we're not going to sell to a rival. We'll sell to Fulham, even though Fulham are a closer rival to City this year than Tottenham are. But, generally speaking, I don't know whether Pep Guardiola just hates Tottenham. I think he might very well hate Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, we keep beating him. That's probably why. Tell me, Sean,
he hated the fact that he never got hold of Kane from Daniel Levy.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's another thing. That's hereditary with Daniel Levy. Tell me, what about the two stories that keep rearing their head? The other one today, that in the summer, Real Madrid want to buy Cuti Romero for 100 million, coupled with Mickey van der Ven, Liverpool twerking. For Romero and Mickey van der Ven twerking for Liverpool. Do you think any of those deals could happen?
Yeah. Both of them could happen.
Yeah. Could you imagine that?
I think Tottenham know, but the amount of links, and again, not to be a hypocrite here and say
quality links,
but the amount of links that we have had in the last 3 or 4 months to centre backs, from Bongiorno to Castello Lucaba to Kalulu at Juve to Gleison Bremer, the amount of links that we have had. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know how many of them are. But you just imagine, right? If Tottenham are looking at, if all of these people that talk bollocks, but if they're all leaning into something of an iota of news that they've heard from someone somewhere that says Tottenham are looking for a centre back, I personally believe it's because they are expecting exits. Now that could be Dragusin, and that might be it. But I genuinely do think that Mickey van der Ven looks like he's like, I'm better than Tottenham.
Yeah.
I'm better than Tottenham, right? And I think that Romero's he's a bit of a volatile flip-flop in his mindset. 1 minute he's like, fuck this. The next minute he's like, I'm back, baby, and I'm going to be a captain and I'm going to fucking score some goals and take over this team.
And he is.
And he is. And then the next minute he's back to, this is bollocks again. I'm going to call out the club. I don't know which way.
Walking down the tunnel.
Yeah, walk down the tunnel. Fuck that, I don't know. So, yeah, I think that there's absolutely merit to the idea that one or both of them could go. I definitely think that Dragusin's gone at some point. Probably not this week, but this weekend, but in the summer.
Guys, in the chat, do you think one or both players, Mickey van der Ven and Romero, could go?
2 if you think both could go. 1 if you think one of them could go. 0 if you think Bissouma is in the house. No, 0 if you think none of them are going to go.
Yeah. So 2 for 2, 1 for 1, and 0 for none leaving.
Big up to you all. 1. Please don't forget to smash the like. We got a super chat from Robbie Welsh. Big up to you, Robbie. He's fucking amazing, isn't it? Rob Welsh. Are we really shocked that there is no plan? That's the point, though. I think this narrative, right? I'm just saying, again, not trying to be contrarian. I'm just putting out there that the narrative that there is no plan can only be cemented if the window finishes as a complete failure. I think then that can be clear. At the moment, it's not guaranteed that's the case. I would say. Johnny, let's talk about some other. We've got to do the predicciones today as well.
Yeah, we do the predicciones, but just a couple more. Let's see if there's a couple more before we shoot off. Or we can come back. We can come back to them. We can do the predicciones as well. Grealish is out for the rest of the season, which is
Zinchenko has joined Ajax or joining Ajax.
Yeah. What else have we got? Carragher's bigging up. I noticed Carragher bigging up Raheem Sterling, which was quite interesting. Yeah, he said, by any measure, he is one of the best English players of his generation. When discussing his career, the focus should only be on the thrill of his initial impact as a prodigy before maturing to fulfill his talent under Pep. He's won 10 trophies, 82 England caps, and scored 194 goals. People should not be disrespecting him. Yeah, I think that's more past though than anything else, I would say. But yeah, listen, look, Spurs.
Manchester United are stepping up their pursuit of Frankfurt wingback Nathaniel Brown, Johnny. It's the player that I wanted.
Were you impressed? Were you impressed with him, Sean?
No, not particularly. Not particularly.
No.
Not on that particular night, but I thought Frankfurt were terrible. But Nathaniel Brown is a very, very talented player. The 22-year-old would cost around £40 million, with United having sent scouts to monitor his Champions League performances. Arsenal are also expected to provide competition for his signature.
Yeah, like they need another one. Listen, you and I both like Brown and Hugo Larsson. Maybe we're being unfair. They're in a vastly underperforming Eintracht Frankfurt team who have sold off a lot of their assets. Maybe they are better than what we're seeing. I mean, we saw one glimpse of Hugo Larsson bursting through and hitting the bar. But other than that, he was pretty anonymous. And I didn't think Brown was exceptional in that game at all. So for me, it's a no. Yeah, I think that's about it. Chelsea are still desperate to sign Jeremy Jacquet, and are now looking at using Aaron Asselmino as part of their bid for the Rennes centre back. I think that deal will get done. Personally, Sean.
Aaron Asselmino.
Yeah, it's another one they got in storage, Sean. You don't know him. You don't know him. I don't know him, but he'll be in storage. Should we do the predicciones?
Yep. Okay. In fact, I'll go for a wee quickly. I'm busting for a wee. Let me ask you one last question. This is an interesting one for the chat as well. There's a funny little thing here. You are an 18-year-old professional footballer with a big future ahead of you, and you receive these two contract offers. Wrexham in the Championship, you could be a first-team starter on a 5-year contract earning $1 million a year, or Manchester United, a backup player with a one for the future prospect, 3-year contract, $3 million a year.
Wow.
You choose Wrexham or United. I'm going to go for a wee and I'll let you...
Put it up on if you got it up on the screen. Can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah, hang on.
Let's put it up on the screen.
There you go. I'll back him 1 second.
Okay. So, guys, read that one again. So we'll have one for Manchester United and 2 for Wrexham, okay? You're an 18-year-old professional footballer with a big future ahead of you, and you receive these 2 contract offers. Wrexham in the Championship, first-team starter, 5-year contract, $1 million a year, or Man United, backup player, 3-year contract, $3 million a year. Personally, if I rated myself, I think I'd go to Wrexham. Performers on the first team, get promoted, and then get a transfer to become first team again. Because at Manchester United, you could be an also-ran. But I think most would take Man United. But I for me, with a big contract, get loaned out to Wrexham. Yeah, that's a good shout. United play with a big contract, loaned out to Wrexham. I think I would go for Wrexham. Would be more fun than letting his talent die at United. Yeah. I think there isn't a wrong answer here. Yes, I guess that you would learn from a lot better players at United than you would do at Wrexham. Maybe ask Wrexham to insure yourself for a second. Yeah, listen, I think it's a difficult one because, look, Wrexham are on an upward trajectory. They're investing in everything. We've seen with Chelsea, all the players that signed for Chelsea are sitting in storage. They're not getting a game. They're sitting there. Their careers... it's a bit like Drinkwater, who signed... I mean, obviously, he won the title with Leicester, got signed for Chelsea for big money, and I don't think he hardly played a game. His whole career just went on a downward spiral. So, maybe he would have been better off staying. I mean, from a financial point of view, obviously, moving to Chelsea was a huge, huge upswing for him. Let's see what else we got here. See what else we got. What other comments have we got here? Surely if you rated yourself, you go for the bigger club. That's true, but rating yourself doesn't mean that the manager also shares the high opinion you've got of yourself. What else we got? Let's have a look. Depends if you rate yourself. Yeah. Go to Wrexham, then get promoted. That's the same as me. I'll be honest with you. I'd go to Wrexham, try and negotiate slightly more because I've been offered the contract with Man United. I'd use the contract with Man United that I had been offered to negotiate a little bit of a higher deal with Wrexham because they've got big money that's coming in right now. So I can see that one is possible. And United are an absolute mess. And look at this, as far as Drinkwater. Drinkwater is now working in construction. Unbelievable. He obviously doesn't need the money. Maybe he just needs... that's exactly what I would do, Adam. Use it as leverage to get myself a better contract. Definitely. Imagine turning down that contract and you never get an opportunity. Listen, is there a right or wrong answer to this? I'm not quite sure. Hang on. I just had a bit of news.
Johnny, mate, I'm sorry, mate. I've got to jump off. Something's happened. Can you do the rest of the show, the predictions, and I'll send you my predictions afterwards? Is that all right?
Yeah. Could you take this off the screen? Can you just take this off the screen?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Something's happened here. I've got to go. Sorry, buddy.
Okay. All right. No worries. No worries.
Sorry.
Put me down to a single. There you go. Sorry, guys. Sean's had an emergency. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Just had a bit of news that's come in. And it is the fact that Mohamed Amar, agent to Diaby, has just landed in London from Milan. So that's obviously doing the rounds. So I would say that the Diaby link is definitely, the Diaby link is definitely something tangible. Right, guys, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do the scores in Sean's absence. Who would like to do the predicciones? If you tell me in the chat, that would be great. And we'll have to do the scores. Sorry, guys, it's just sort of thrown me a bit because obviously if Sean's had to go, it's obviously something serious. So hopefully nothing terrible. Maybe hopefully it's just to do with the dog. So what I'll do is I think I will just do the scores on here, and then afterwards we will do the scores on the I'll write them down afterwards. So I need someone to do it. Okay, so Jimmy Hotspur. Okay, Jimmy. So give me a second. Where are we? Predicciones. Where are we? Predicciones. Dear. We are all over the place today. Not to worry. Right. Okay, so let's start with the first game, shall we? Jimmy Hotspur, you're doing it for the chat. Remember, you're only 7 points behind Sean. So it's all resting on you to try and close that gap. So let's do it. So Brighton versus Everton. Everton with the news that they're losing Grealish today. Big news for out for the rest of the season. Brighton really not on a good run of form at the moment. Very up and down, but still sat in the middle of the pack. I'm actually going to go for an Everton win, actually, with Ndiaye and the likes back. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Everton 2. Let's see what Jimmy Hotspur has come up with. Jimmy, what's your score, mate? Let's see. Jimmy Hotspur, let's see what he's doing. Jimmy Hotspur, 2-1 Brighton. 2-1 Brighton. Let me just write this down. Chat 2-1 Brighton. Let me just open it up. Brighton 2-1. Chat. And me 2-1 Everton. Okay, let's move on to the next game. The next game is a big one. Leeds versus Arsenal. Leeds, who have only lost 2 games at home this season, to Aston Villa and to Spurs. Huge game for Arsenal, this. They can't afford to drop any points. Let's see what you guys are saying. 1-1, Reese. I think you could be right there. Jimmy Hotspur, what are you going? Rushy 3-1. Can't see Jimmy Hotspur. Let's see what score he's come up with. 2-0 Arsenal. 1-1 Arsenal. 1-1 to Arsenal. 2-1. Geek Spurs 3-1 to Woolwich. Jimmy Hotspur, where are you? Let's be having you. Where are you, Jimmy Hotspur? Is he gone to sleep? Jimmy Hotspur, wakey, wakey. Can't see him. Jimmy Hotspur. Come on, Jimmy, mate. Can't be sitting here waiting all day for you, mate. Well, if he doesn't come back, is it? You read it, Johnny. Tell me again if I've missed it, because I can't see it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jimmy. 2-0. Apologies, mate. Apologies. Chat. 2-0 Arsenal. And I am going to go for a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Okay, next game. Wolves versus Bournemouth. Wolves, who look like they're going to sell Strand Larson. Really in the mud now. I think.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Right. Do you want to do your? Okay. Is she okay? Right. Do you want to go back to your scores? Right. So Brighton Everton.
Is that the first game? Is it?
Yeah, Brighton Everton. Everyone was panicking for you, mate. Good to see he's all okay.
I don't know if she is. The dog's been sick everywhere, like 5 or 6 different places, and she's breathing really heavily. But I don't know what's going on with her. She seems to have calmed down for a minute. So
yeah, it's probably
Brighton Everton. Brighton Everton. What score did you get?
I went 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton. Chat went.
Yeah. 2-1 Brighton.
Okay, I'm going to go for 1-1.
You go for 1-1. And the Arsenal Leeds game, I went 2-2.
Wow, punchy. Chat went
2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal as well. Next game?
The next game is Wolves v Bournemouth. Wolves, who look like they're selling Strand Larson. Rob Edwards is having to make do with bare bones. I mean, let's be honest, they're just preparing for next season. So I'm going to go for a comfortable Bournemouth win, even though Rob Edwards has got them playing better and better over the last 2 weeks. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Bournemouth win.
Okay, I'm going to go for 1-1.
1-1. Okay. And the chat, Jimmy Hotspur. Let's see. You can see Jimmy Hotspur. Jimmy Hotspur's gone 2-1 to Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. Okay.
Okay. Next game, Chelsea versus West Ham. Not often I ask for Chelsea to win a game of football, but I'm definitely going to be asking for it tonight. Will they be affected, Sean, by the hard game and that tough trip to Napoli midweek? Whereas West Ham will have a whole week working on the training ground with the new players, Traore and the likes, coming to West Ham. I'm going to say it's a really tough game for Chelsea, but I'm hoping they win 2-1.
I'm going to go for 2-1 as well. I think the same. I think they'll be fine.
Jimmy Hotspur, where are you, buddy? Can you see Jimmy Hotspur anywhere? Where are we? Jimmy Hotspur, where are you? Can you see 3-1 Chelsea? Jimmy Hotspur. Okie dokie. The next game, this is a biggie. The 8 o'clock kickoff. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Liverpool desperate to get their top 4 challenge back on track. It's going to be top 5 this season. I think it's going to take an absolute miracle to knock Spurs off. The British clubs off the coefficient. We've got so many points right now. It's looking like we're nailed on for the top 5. But Liverpool have got competition, so they need to win this game. Salah is back. Newcastle, tough game against PSG away from home. I think they'll be tired from that game. I'm not sure if Guimaraes is back. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Liverpool win.
Okay. I'm going to go for an absolute cracking game. I'm going to say 3-3. Rooting for one there. I want to see an old school Kevin Keegan type of game, 4-3, but I'm going to go 3-3.
Let's see Jimmy Hotspur. Can you see Jimmy Hotspur? It's gone 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. Okie dokie.
Yeah,
Aston Villa, Brentford.
Aston Villa, Brentford. Villa doing what Villa do at the moment. Brentford will be a tough call for them. Again, playing Thursday and Sunday, never a good call, especially when you're playing in the early game. I think this is going to be a draw. Brentford, they lost at home to Everton in the last game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Ollie Watkins is out injured.
1-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I'm going to join Reese there. I think Reese is right on that one.
Watkins injured. 2-0 to Jimmy Hotspur.
Man United, Fulham.
Can I change that? I'm going to go 2-1. Sorry, I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I tried to cheat myself. 2-1 Villa. Sorry. Yeah.
I thought it was Villa. Fulham. I thought it was Fulham at home against Man United. Fuck. I didn't realise that way around. I'm going to go for
Man United, Fulham. Man United.
I'm going to go for 2-2 on that one.
Right. So Fulham on form at the moment. Man United on form. Man United definitely chasing the top 4 position now, unbelievably. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Man United win.
Okie dokie.
Jimmy Hotspur. 3-0 Jimmy Hotspur to United.
Everyone's getting sucked into this United resurgence, mate.
Yeah, you're not having any of it. Oh yeah, you're not having any of it.
I'm refusing to admit that they're going to turn the corner. It's a false dawn. It's a false dawn. I hate them. Forest Palace.
Forest after a 4-0 win on Thursday night against Palace, who are in trouble right now. No Mateta. Brennan Johnson, Strand Larsen's probably not going to get done before the deadline. I don't know sure if Mateta will play this final game as a farewell, but I think it's going to be a tough game for Palace. I'm going to go 2-1 Forest.
I'm going to go for 1-0 to Forest. Would you say 2-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy Hotspur. I'm just trying to find Jimmy Hotspur's score. Can you see it there?
Jimmy Hotspur's saying 2-1 Forest.
2-1 Forest as well. Okay. It's fine. And then the small game of the weekend. Spurs versus Manchester City. We got the Indian sign over them, but this is Man City's chance to... They've had enough chances. This could be their last chance to actually start winning games now and make a run for the title. I think they'll be too good for Spurs, personally. tomorrow on Sunday. I'm going to go 3-1 Man City, although I obviously hope Spurs win.
I'm going to go for, I forget what I said last night. I can't remember what I said on the other one. I think I'm going to go for 2-2. I think is what I said, and I'm going to stick to it.
Jimmy Hotspur's gone the same as me, 3-1.
3-1 to City. Okay.
Yeah. And the last game of the series, Sunderland versus Burnley. Burnley with draws against Spurs, Manchester United, and Liverpool. They'll be rekindled, and Sunderland with a surprise loss the other week. But I think they're under the Roker or the new Stadium of Light Roar, should I say. I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland.
As am I.
And let's see what. Where is he?
Johnny, what I'm going to do, mate? We're going to finish this off 1-0 to Sunderland. Yeah, we're going to do the name scorers, and I'm going to let you finish up if that's okay, mate. Okay. Sorry, I'm outside the door, and she's
no
really,
worries,
really
mate.
in distress.
No worries, mate.
So the players, guys, the players that you can't pick for the chat for you, Jimmy, it's Fernandez, Xavi, Simmons, Bruno Guimaraes, Richarlison, Cunha, Ekitike, Cherky, Saka, Barnes, Thiago, Foden, Odegaard, Bowen, Rodgers, Gakpo, Voltemade, Haaland, Grealish, Kudus, Rice, Richie, and Salah. For you, Johnny, it's Delap, Gyökeres, Pedro, Mateta, Evanilson, Foden, Saka, Gordon, Welbeck, Bowen, Haaland, Voltemade, Muwani, Ekitike, Bowen, Wirtz, DCL, Semenyo, Muwani, and that's it.
Can't believe I can't have Muwani, mate. So it's devastation for me, mate. I'm going to go for Brian and Mbeumo.
Mbeumo. I was going to go for him as well, but I shan't. Let me know what Jimmy's doing. Let me have a look through what I've got to do here.
They're asking, can we play Cunha?
I'm going to go for Brobby at Sunderland.
Yeah. Where is Jimmy Hotspur? Where are you, Jimmy Hotspur? Where are you? Can't even see it. Name your player, Jimmy Hotspur. Where is he? Jimmy Hotspur, you got to name a player. Does he think his trip's over?
He's just thinking.
No, Cunha. Cunha. Good to. There you go.
Have you not had Cunha already, the chat?
I don't know. Check.
Yeah, you've had Cunha already, guys. You can't have Cunha.
Okay, Jimmy, you can't have Cunha, mate. You can't have him. Think of another one. While you're doing that, I'll just tell you that Real Madrid have inquired over Borussia Dortmund's asking price of Nico Schlottenbeck. He said Cunha, but he can't have Cunha.
People are saying Rayan. Debut hat trick for Rayan. Imagine that.
No, Rayan and Igor Thiago. Yeah, you can see that. Who's he gone for?
And Mbeumo
as well. Okay.
You haven't used Mbeumo yet, have you, Mbeumo? So look, I will check. No, I don't think you have. No, you're fine.
No. Okay.
Cool.
So that's that one. This
could be a real. She's all over the place, mate. She's coming to see me. Johnny, I'm going to let you go, mate. Just to let you know, guys. So there's 7 points between the chat and myself, and 40 points between Johnny and myself. So all to play for. And good luck to everyone. See you guys tomorrow. Cheers, Johnny. Round up the show for me, yeah?
Yeah, I'll round it up. Mate, guys, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And if you're listening on audio, please hit the like button. And also, don't forget our sponsor, OK Jersey. And if you go there now, up until the 2nd of February, there is now 15% off, not 8%. Just use the code FINC15. FINC15 and get 15% off. Getting lots of feedback from people now who've got the jerseys, and they're very happy with them. So that's good news. Let's see if there's any other transfer news. Raheem Sterling is ready to play for less than a third of his weekly wage. That's very nice. At Stamford Bridge, which was said to be 325 grand a week. So he's prepared to come and play for 100 grand a week. Who would take Raheem Sterling for 100 grand a week for the rest of the season? Just for the rest of the season. No full-time contract, just a 6-month. Let us know. Give us one for a yes to get Sterling for the remainder of the season and a no for absolutely no chance of signing him. For me, I think no. Yeah, but also is the unknown with him.
There are known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know.
And that's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in a nutshell. The knows and unknowns. Everything's unknown. We spend the entire time second guessing what could be happening because they tell us nothing. They promise us everything and deliver us nothing. I think no. Look, I'll be honest with you. If we can't sign another, I personally don't want it. But if there's no other signing coming, and that's the only winger, and and we're not, and we've got no chance of getting some of these players back for a few weeks. I mean, we're talking about Kudus being out till probably mid-end March. Then yes, fine. For 100 grand a week. I mean, we're playing Timo Werner 150 grand a week to run up and down the wing and do nothing. But I just need to know what these guys are doing. For me, just the 6 months, no other interest. Let's see if there's any other transfer news right now. It's been strangely quiet. I think it's just going to... our news just come in, actually. It would have affected my score that I did for the predictions, maybe. I don't know. But Palace striker Mateta will now not feature in the final game for Forest, against Forest, amid interest from AC Milan. So that's not going to happen. That's obviously not going to happen. Let's see if there's any others. Barcelona squad contain an estimated £640 million worth of transfer window value from 22 current academy graduates. Will they sell them? I think that they're going to have to sell so they can buy some other players because the restrictions right now due to their debt is actually huge. But Barcelona's academy squad is worth 640 million. Manchester City ranks second with 16 graduates worth a combined total of 248 million. I wonder what Spurs is worth. Arsenal's apparently is worth 204 million, with Chelsea, who are buying up everyone, at 193 million pound. I don't know what I think about that. So it's Barcelona, 22 players with 640. And the bottom of the list is Atletico Madrid, who have got a combined value of 160 million. Spurs aren't even in the top 10. This just shows you how poor our academy is. We talk about an academy. We've got a beautiful building there, but we're producing nothing out of it. Anyway, guys, look, due to Sean going and time getting on, we'll try and do a show tomorrow. And let's hope that there's some signing activity between now and tonight. You'll find me tonight. I'll be on Last Word on Spurs at 5:30, and I'll be doing another show with Sean. Should anything happen, should there be any big news, we will definitely, or I will definitely be hopping on to go through it. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Sorry about the disrupted show. Sometimes it happens. That's show business. Guys, please hit the like and the subscribe button on the way out. And if you're here for the first time, please let us know in the comment section after the show where you're from and what club you're supporting. But for now, thanks very much. Goodbye. Goodbye.